And welcome to the Almost Daily Dave, the Thursday end of July edition. A tropical storm is aiming somewhere around southern Florida, may hit our friends in the Bahamas, which is never cool. And we hope that everything turns out well for them and for the whole state of Florida, maybe even the East Coast. But you can follow that on everybody's Facebook page because Lord knows everybody likes to post the NHC, the National Hurricane Center maps, and then you look at when it was posted and you find out the map is already 2 maps behind. And it's always accompanied by the, not here, or go to hell 2020, or things like that. My advice, and I know it's tempting because everybody who lives in South Florida, right down to newborn babies, is an amateur meteorologist. We all know a little something, and we do. If you live through this 6 months out of the year when you fear that your entire house is going to collapse one day on top of you while you hide in a bathtub, you become a little sensitive and you start paying a lot more attention to spaghetti models and all sorts of things. Never cared when I was a kid when I first moved here. That was my parents' problem. Now that I'm a parent, it's my problem. But maybe hose yourselves down on the Facebook posts until things get closer. You do realize how much this track has shifted eastward. So let's just dial it down a couple of notches and see if we can't get through this together. Because if you live in South Florida, the worst hasn't even come yet. It's August, September, and October. That's when you question why you live here. But let's go to some good news, because you know what? The NBA is back. And the bubble is working for the NBA for now. It's working for the National Hockey League. Might have worked for Major League Baseball if they had agreed to do it. And we know we can't really bubble football. It was encouraging to see the Atlantic Coast Conference come out with a schedule for teams, conference only, plus one non-conference game that must be played in your state. So what do you do if you're the Hurricanes? Because you know Florida State, done. What's Miami do? USF? UCF? Man, that would be fun. Or do they take on a lesser comer? But I say that fully realizing that this Miami team lost to FIU. Now, Butch Davis had a good team last year, and he proved it by beating Miami. Caught him off guard for sure. So we'll see how the Hurricanes decide to schedule this. I'd love to see UCF Miami. I think that'd be a blast. Let's go back. Speaking of UCF and Orlando, let's talk about the NBA for a couple minutes here. Because let's face it, they've been ahead of everybody in sports. They were the first ones to slam the door shut. In 5 minutes, they canceled their season after Rudy Gobert. I mean, they were going to play a game in Oklahoma City. Ironically, my oldest son was at the Dallas Mavericks game where they won, the Mavs, and that ended up being the last NBA game that counted until tonight. So what was that, around March 8th or 9th? So we've got all this time without NBA basketball counting. Now, the setup at Disney is great. If any of you are AAU basketball parents or former players, you know what it's like there. It's those two buildings. There's a short walkway that separates the two of them, and you can have a game here and a game there and clean up one and clean up and play, and then the other one's clean, and then you play again. It's a perfect setup. It's absolutely right for just rotating everybody in. And the NBA's tried every little trick they can to make somebody feel like they have a home court advantage. Again, I'm not a big fan of all the artificial noise or fake fans and all of that, but some people like it, and that's okay. It's just the fact that we're going to see something that starts to matter tonight. And then the NHL is going to jump in. And so far, everything has gone well with the National Hockey League. And by the way, people are starved for this. Ratings for baseball games are good. People want this entertainment. They need this entertainment. It has been missed. So the NBA starts tonight. They have seeding until August 14th. They'll play in on the 15th and 16th to get to the last playoff spots. The playoffs begin on the 17th. Here's a key date to remember. Exactly a month from today, August 30th, the families and guests of the players are going to be allowed in the bubble. That's where things could go off the rails. But I have confidence the NBA has actually thought about this. Even though Major League Baseball had, a 113-page protocol proposal, they didn't seem to have anything quite ready for what happened with the Miami Marlins, although I will say their solution, shuffling the schedule around, I think was a smart one. It was literally making chicken salad out of, that. So let's see what happens when the families arrive. Then you get to the semis, which go through mid-September, the conference finals, the end of September, and then starting on the 30th through as possibly as late as October 13th, you have the NBA finals. The NBA has been the leader on this. I hope they remain the leader on this. I hope we have a minimum number of positive tests. I hope we have a minimum number of moronic distractions, like people forgetting to take tests or leaving the bubble. Now that it starts to count, you can't be selfish. And that's a word that is really key. Anytime you're in a team environment, whether it's an office, whether it's a fire station or a police station, whether it's the military, whether it's a team, a sports team, selfishness can destroy that team. And we're going to find out who's team-oriented and who's selfish. Sure, it's not easy to be in the same place over and over again, but we're all doing it primarily. There are probably some people who may not even have ever left their homes over these few months to be safe. Or if you do go anywhere, it's the same couple, 2 or 3 places, and there's a repetitive nature to every day. There's a repetitive nature to my day, but it's for the greater good. So you can't be selfish and do something stupid. So unlike whomever in the Marlins traveling party decided to go party in Atlanta, what is in that city, man? And may have ruined the Marlins season, because at best they might be able to throw together a team that would compete at the AA level in the minor leagues for a little while until all of this gets resolved. That was selfish, plain and simple. Even if he went to a Atlanta Publix to buy, a fruit salad and cookies, it was still a mistake. It was still selfish. It was still dumb. So that investigation goes on, and if I'm the Marlins, I'm taking care of business before Major League Baseball ever does. That'll do it for your Almost Daily Dave. Tomorrow is the Nooner with Dave Lamont, optimistically counting on a guest appearance from Kelly Craig. We did actually a little rehearsal, and we will, unlike the professional broadcasters we used to be, this time we will be rehearsing on Friday to make sure the connection works and we can have the great Kelly Craig on. That'll do it for today. Have a safe day. If you're in South Florida, good luck this weekend, or anywhere in Florida, good luck this weekend with however you pronounce that name, which is not Isaiah. I'm Dave Lamont. Please subscribe to YouTube. It's free. You see my Twitter handle there, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern.